Have you ever wondered why, objectively brilliant people, I mean, absolute geniuses, make the most catastrophically stupid life decisions?
Oh, literally all the time. Like you see a neurosurgeon who invests his entire life savings in magic beans or some incredibly obvious Ponzi scheme.
Exactly. Or wait, let's take a real historical example. Sir Isaac Newton, the guy who literally invented calculus.
Right, the gravity apple guy.
Yeah, the Apple guy. So in 1720, he invested in the South Sea Company. Classic speculative stock bubble.
Uh-oh, let me guess he held on too long?
Worse, he actually made a massive profit, sold his shares, and then, because all his friends were still getting rich, he bought back in at the absolute peak.
No, the father of modern physics succumbed to basic FOMO?
Immense FOMO. He lost 20,000 pounds, which is like millions today, and he supposedly said, "I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people."
That is, wow, that's actually a phenomenal quote, but also just incredibly embarrassing for him.
Right? Welcome back to English Pod Center, everyone. I'm Luna.
And I'm Lucas, and today we're dissecting, why high IQ does not inherently equate to good judgment.
Yes, because fundamentally, society conflates intelligence with rationality, and cognitively speaking, they are absolutely not the same mechanism.
Wait, I don't get it. Aren't they intrinsically linked? If you're smart, you process information better, ergo you make optimal choices.
See, that's the prevailing heuristic, but it's fundamentally flawed. Think of your brain as a supercomputer, right?
Okay, tracking.
Intelligence, or your IQ, is essentially the processor speed, the raw horsepower. It dictates how fast you can crunch complex algorithms or, learn Mandarin.
Right, so if I have an i9 processor, I'm crushing it.
Exactly. But rationality? Rationality is the operating system deciding which programs to actually run.
Oh, now I get it.
Right? You can have the fastest processor on the planet, but if the OS is riddled with malware...
You're still going to click on a phishing link and download a virus.
Precisely. The malware in this analogy being cognitive biases.
That makes so much sense. So Newton had immense processing power, but his emotional OS got hijacked by greed and FOMO.
Exactly. There's actually a clinical term for this bifurcation, coined by cognitive psychologist Keith Stanovich. It's called dysrationalia.
Dysrationalia, like dyslexia but for rational thought?
Literally, yes. It's defined as the inability to think and behave rationally, despite having adequate or even exceptional intelligence.
Wow, I know so many people with dysrationalia. I might have it myself, to be honest.
We all do to some extent. Because high intelligence actually creates a unique vulnerability. It's called the bias blind spot.
Bias blind spot. Is that like when you... Wait, let me guess. Is it when you think everyone else is biased except you?
Spot on. But it gets significantly more insidious with highly intelligent people.
How so? If they're smart, shouldn't they be more self-aware?
You'd think, right? But actually, highly articulate, intelligent people use their massive processing power to rationalize their flawed intuition.
Oh, man. So they don't use their brain to find the truth? They use it to justify the lie they already believe?
Bingo. It's like, imagine a highly skilled lawyer defending a guilty client.
Okay.
The lawyer's brilliance doesn't make the client innocent. It just makes the defense incredibly persuasive and notoriously difficult to dismantle.
Geez. So your brain is basically playing high-priced defense attorney for your most irrational impulses.
Exactly. And because you're so smart, you construct these elaborate, logically airtight narratives to defend, say, staying in a toxic relationship or a terrible investment.
So their high IQ is actually weaponized against themselves?
Weaponized is the perfect word, Lucas. It's cognitive hubris. They think, I'm a genius, therefore my gut instincts must be inherently infallible.
Right, because they've been praised their whole lives for being the smart kid. So they lack, what's the phrase? Intellectual humility.
Yes, intellectual humility is the antidote. It's the willingness to recognize that your cognitive machinery is fallible.
But wait, how do they test this? How does Stanovich actually prove that smart people fail at rationality?
Oh, they use these devious little cognitive reflection tests. I'm actually going to give you one right now.
Oh God, no. I'm going to completely embarrass myself on our own podcast.
It's okay. It's a safe space. Okay, ready? It's the famous bat and ball problem.
All right, hit me.
A bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs exactly $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost?
10 cents? Wait, no, that's the trap answer. If the ball is 10 cents, the bat would be $1.10, making the total $1.20.
Look at you, catching yourself. Most people don't.
So it's 5 cents. The ball is 5 cents. The bat is $1.05. Total $1.10.
Correct. But here's the wild part. More than 50% of students at Harvard, Princeton, and MIT
Wait, seriously?
gave the intuitive, completely incorrect answer of 10 cents.
Half of Ivy League students got that wrong? That is genuinely mind-blowing.
Because their brains, despite having massive processing power, took the cognitive shortcut. They defaulted to a heuristic rather than engaging algorithmic processing.
They didn't bother turning on the supercomputer because the problem just looked too simple.
Precisely. They relied on cognitive miserliness. The brain is literally designed to aggressively conserve metabolic energy.
So being exceptionally smart doesn't mean you automatically think critically. It just means you can think critically if you actively choose to engage.
Exactly. You nailed it, Lucas. It's like having a top-of-the-line Ferrari, but
But only driving it in first gear?
right, only driving it in first gear just to go get groceries down the street.
Yeah. I mean, why burn the premium gas if you don't really have to?
Exactly. Evolutionarily speaking, thinking hard literally burns calories. The human brain consumes about 20% of our resting metabolic energy.
Wait, 20%? Just sitting there?
Just sitting there. So our ancestors survived by being cognitive misers. They conserved energy.
Okay, so if I'm feeling lazy, I can just blame evolution? Like, sorry guys, my ancestors needed to save calories.
I mean, you could try, but modern society severely punishes that cognitive laziness.
How so? Like, what happens?
Well, let's talk about something called dysrationalia.
What? That sounds like a terrible stomach bug.
Dysrationalia. It's an advanced concept coined by the cognitive psychologist Keith Stanovich.
Oh, okay. Stanovich.
It is essentially the inability to think and behave rationally, despite having adequate or even exceptionally high intelligence.
Like being book smart but completely lacking common sense?
Sort of, but it's fundamentally deeper than that. It highlights the vast discrepancy between intelligence, which is what IQ tests measure, and rationality.
Oh, so IQ and rationality are basically entirely separate things?
Ding, ding, ding. They are terribly correlated.
Wait, terribly like negatively or just like barely connected?
Barely connected at all. You can literally have an IQ of 160 and still invest your life savings in a wildly obvious Ponzi scheme.
Oh my God, yes. I literally know a guy, he's this brilliant structural engineer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Builds bridges, literally does insane calculus in his head. But he bought like $30,000 of a fake crypto token because a guy in a random Discord server told him to.
That is the quintessential example of dysrationalia right there.
It blew my mind. I was like, dude, you calculate wind shear for a living. How did you fall for Dogecoin Infinity?
Because calculating wind shear relies heavily on his algorithmic mind, his raw computational processing power.
Right.
But evaluating a sketchy crypto pitch, that requires epistemic rationality.
Epi what? You're throwing so many like massive terms at me today, Luna.
Epistemic rationality. It basically just means how accurately your beliefs map onto the real world.
Oh, so like whether what you believe is actually true based on empirical evidence?
Exactly. Smart people are often surprisingly terrible at this because they suffer from the mindware gap.
Mindware gap, like they're missing a software update?
That is a perfect analogy, Lucas. Yes, exactly.
Wait, really? I was just joking.
No, it's spot on. Mindware refers to the specific rules, data, procedures, and strategies you actually need to make an optimal decision.
Oh, so like an intuitive grasp of probability, formal logic, understanding baseline statistics?
Yes. If your brilliant structural engineer never installed the how to identify a financial scam mindware,
Then his massive supercomputer brain doesn't even have the right program to run.
exactly. You can possess the absolute most powerful computer in the world, but if it lacks the correct software,
It's just a remarkably expensive paperweight.
precisely. And what's even worse, and this is where it gets incredibly dangerous for highly intelligent people,
Oh boy, worse than vaporizing 30 grand on Dogcoin?
Way worse. It's a cognitive phenomenon known as motivated reasoning.
I think I've actually heard of that. Is that when you just desperately want to believe what you already believe?
Fundamentally, yes. But here's the kicker. Highly intelligent people are actually significantly better at motivated reasoning.
Wait, what? So being smart makes you measurably worse at seeing the objective truth?
Yes, because they possess more processing power to meticulously rationalize their false beliefs.
Oh, wow. That makes so much sense.
Think about it like a defense attorney in a courtroom.
Okay, yeah, I'm tracking. Go with that.
If your flawed intuition decides, I like this obscure crypto coin, your brain immediately acts as the lawyer defending that choice.
Right, and if you have an insanely high IQ...
You are a phenomenal, world-class defense attorney.
Holy crap, so you can spin out these incredibly complex, highly logical-sounding arguments for why a profoundly stupid decision is actually like genius.
Exactly. They utilize their massive intellect not to uncover the truth, but to aggressively defend their pre-existing biases.
That is genuinely terrifying, actually. It's like giving a highly sophisticated laser-guided missile to a toddler.
That is the best analogy yet. The smarter you are, the more spectacularly intricate your rationalizations become.
So basically, smart people don't necessarily make fewer mistakes, they just make far more complicated ones.
Literally that. It's a phenomenon called, wait, have you ever heard of the bias blind spot?
The bias blind spot. I mean, I'm assuming it means you literally can't see your own biases.
Spot on. But here is the kicker, Lucas. Research shows that higher cognitive ability is actually correlated with a larger bias blind spot.
Wait, what? No way.
Yes way. Because you're so accustomed to being the smartest person in the room,
You automatically assume your cognitive processes are virtually infallible.
Oh, geez. So because I crushed my SATs 10 years ago, I'm suddenly immune to logical fallacies.
Exactly. It breeds this sort of cognitive entrenchment.
Cognitive entrenchment. Okay, fancy words, Luna. Break that down for me.
Right, sorry. Think of your brain like a beautifully paved, multi-lane superhighway. Okay, I like highways. Vroom, vroom. Right. So you've built these incredibly efficient neurological superhighways because you're smart. You process complex data rapidly.
Flexing my giant brain, yep.
But the problem is, once you're speeding down that superhighway at 150 miles an hour,
It's really hard to take an off-ramp.
yes, you literally cannot pivot. If new contradictory evidence appears, your momentum just obliterates it.
Wow, that makes so much sense, actually.
Whereas someone who maybe isn't as intellectually gifted is driving a little off-road buggy.
They're just bumping along the dirt road, taking their time.
Exactly. So when an obstacle pops up, they just steer around it. They're more cognitively flexible because they aren't locked into a rigid, high-speed paradigm.
Okay, I'm having a total flashback to like every disastrous tech launch ever.
Oh, do tell.
Like you see these Silicon Valley wonderkins, right? Literal geniuses with stratospheric IQs.
The ones who drink meal replacement sludge so they don't waste time chewing?
Yes, the sludge drinkers. They build these hyper-complex platforms that nobody actually wants.
Juicero!
Yes, a $400 Wi-Fi-enabled juice press for a packet you could literally just squeeze with your bare hands.
The ultimate example of high IQ, zero practical rationale.
But they had venture capitalists with MBAs from Stanford funding it, which proves your point perfectly.
Exactly. All those brilliant minds in one boardroom, and not a single one said, hey guys, couldn't I just squeeze this?
Excuse me, Stanford grad, I have hands.
And that ties back to the lawyer analogy. If someone did point that out, the Stanford MBA would immediately unleash a torrent of synergistic, paradigm-shifting jargon to defend the Wi-Fi juicer.
They'd be like, it's not about the juice. It's about the data harvesting of citrus consumption metrics.
Precisely. They use their intelligence to overcomplicate the mundane.
So is there a term for that? Like when experts get so deep into their own sauce that they lose touch with reality?
Yeah, it's often referred to as earned dogmatism.
Earned dogmatism.
Basically,
I've studied this for 20 years. I have a PhD. Therefore, my intuition is objectively flawless.
Oh, wow. So they feel literally entitled to be closed-minded.
You hit the nail on the head. They feel they've put in the reps, so they don't need to entertain dissenting opinions from the unwashed masses.
The off-road buggy drivers.
Exactly. Nice callback.
I mean, I'm just thinking about everyday life now. It's not just tech CEOs.
Oh, it's everywhere. Doctors diagnosing rare diseases, but missing a common cold.
Right. Or financial analysts. Oh my God, financial analysts.
The 2008 housing crisis is waving frantically at us right now.
Literally. They had the most complex, algorithmic, mathematically elegant risk models ever conceived.
And they drove the global economy straight into a brick wall at 150 miles an hour.
Because nobody wanted to admit their shiny superhighway had a massive sinkhole in it.
And anyone who pointed out the sinkhole was dismissed as simply lacking the intellectual capacity to understand the complexity of a collateralized debt obligation.
Holy crap, Luna. That is exactly what happened. The complexity was a shield.
Complexity is almost always a shield for a bad idea.
Wait, say that again? That's actually profound.
Complexity is a shield for a bad idea. If you can't explain it simply, you probably don't understand it, or you're hiding the fact that it's fundamentally flawed.
I'm writing that down. That's going on a t-shirt.
I expect 20% of the merch profits, Lucas.
We'll see how the negotiations go. So, how do we fix this? If being smart makes us vulnerable to these massive blind spots, are we just doomed?
Not necessarily, but it requires a very specific, almost agonizing type of humility.
Oh, gross. Humility? I hate it already.
I know. It's the absolute worst. But it's cognitive humility, not necessarily like social humility.
Okay, what's the difference? Because my ego is quite fragile right now.
Cognitive humility is it's the active pursuit of disconfirming evidence.
Disconfirming evidence. So looking for reasons why I am an idiot?
Exactly. You have to become a reverse lawyer.
A reverse suite. I don't get it. Like I sue myself?
Kind of. A normal lawyer builds a case to prove their client is right? They gather all the facts that support their narrative.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But highly intelligent people are already world-class lawyers for their own beliefs. They have too much processing power.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we can rationalize literally anything.
Precisely. So to counteract that, you have to force your internal lawyer to prosecute your own ideas. It's called steel manning the opposing view.
Steel manning, which is like the opposite of straw manning.
Yes. Instead of making the opposing argument look weak, a straw man, you build the absolute strongest, most indestructible version of it.
And then you try to defeat that?
No. First, you just have to sincerely argue it. Like genuinely try to convince yourself that the other side is right.
Geez, that sounds exhausting. Like if I think, investing in this new startup is brilliant, I have to sit down and convince myself it's actually a massive sinkhole?
Call back to the sinkhole. Yes, exactly.
I see what you did there. But wait, wouldn't that just lead to complete paralysis? If I'm constantly prosecuting my own ideas, I'd never do anything.
That's a super valid point. But the goal isn't paralysis, it's calibration.
Calibration. Okay, unpack that.
You're just trying to calibrate your confidence level. If you're 99% sure about a complex decision, you're probably falling for the intelligence trap.
Because a complex decision shouldn't have 99% certainty. There are too many variables.
Exactly, Lucas. If you've steel-manned the counter-arguments properly, your confidence might drop to, say, 65%.
Which is still enough to take action, but you're proceeding with caution.
You're proceeding with contingencies. You're looking out for the sinkholes because you actually acknowledge they might exist.
Okay, this is blowing my mind a little bit. It's like we use our brain power to build a fortress around our bad decisions.
A totally impenetrable fortress.
Right, so we have to use that same brain power to essentially design the siege weapons to break it down.
That is a beautiful analogy, yes.
Thank you, I try. But seriously, how do we practice this? Because it feels really unnatural to attack my own brilliant insights.
It is completely unnatural. So here's a very quick practical mental exercise for anyone listening.
Ooh, all right, I'm ready. Give it to us.
Take a belief you hold very strongly. It could be about business, politics, even just a methodology at work.
Like the belief that remote work is inherently better than office work. Let's go with that.
Perfect example. Now, I challenge you to write down 3 genuinely compelling reasons why an entirely in-office model produces superior results.
Oh, I hate this. I literally hate this already.
You have to do it without sarcasm. You can't just write because middle managers are sad and lonely.
Damn it, Luna, that was literally going to be my first bullet point.
See? That's the intelligence trap in action. You used a witty, sarcastic joke to dismiss a valid opposing viewpoint without actually engaging with it.
Oh, wow. Wow, I just fell right into the trap live on air.
You really did. But that's how insidious it is. You have to force yourself to find actual empirical reasons, like spontaneous cross-departmental collaboration or expedited onboarding for junior staff.
Right, yeah, those are real tangible benefits. And acknowledging them doesn't mean I have to abandon my preference for remote work.
Exactly. It just makes your perspective more nuanced. You stop being a zealot and start being a thinker.
A thinker instead of the zealot. Man, we really love to just pick a team and defend it to the death, don't we?
We do. And the smarter you are, the better you are at defending your team, which is why highly intelligent people can be the most spectacularly wrong people on the planet.
That is terrifyingly accurate. So wrap this up for us, Luna. What's the main takeaway for the audience today?
The main takeaway is that your raw intelligence is an engine, but an engine doesn't care what direction the car is going.
Ooh, I like that.
If your steering wheel is broken, if you lack cognitive humility, that massive V8 engine is just going to drive you into a wall much, much faster than a slower car would.
Or into a massive collateralized debt sinkhole.
Precisely. So check your steering before you step on the gas.
Man, what a conversation. I'm definitely going to be questioning every major decision I've made in the last decade.
As you should, Lucas. As you should.
All right. To everyone listening, here is my challenge to you for this week.
Let's hear it.
Do the exercise Luna just mentioned. Pick one thing you're absolutely positively sure about and ruthlessly prosecute it. Try to destroy your own argument.
And let us know how agonizing it was in the comments.
Yes, drop your experiences down below. We read all of them. And if you enjoyed this mental breakdown, episode, make sure you hit subscribe and follow us here at English Pod Center. We drop episodes every single week that will completely rewire how you think. See you next time, guys.